The New York Yankees have made a shocking move, and this is absolutely insane, as the timing of Brian Cashman's decision absolutely will have Yankee fans wondering what is next for this team in regards to trades and much more as well. And we're going to break it all down. We have a lot to talk about. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Yankees Digest. It's Chris here, and we're going to jump right into things as always. If you guys are part of that 74% that is not subscribed to Yankees Digest, we have daily videos like this. You do not want to miss out on all the great content Alex and I are bringing to this channel every single day. With all that being said, let's jump into the video. There is a lot to go over, as Brian Cashman made a pretty significant move to the Yankees today, as a lot of us were sitting around wondering when the Yankees were going to upgrade that infield, and though that is yet to happen, we did see a subtraction happen that I think we all knew was going to come one of these days, as it was revealed by multiple outlets, including Jeff Passan, that infielder DJ Lameu has been designated for assignment by the New York Yankees. He is owed nearly $22 million on the remainder of his 6-year contract that ran through 2026. Lameu ends his time with the New York Yankees officially, as now the once great contact hitter who came in both 4th and 3rd in MVP voting in back-to-back years for the Yankees is no longer there. The Yankees, they had a lot in DJ Lameu after acquiring him from the Colorado Rockies. Lameu played second base mainly with the Yankees and was one of the best fielding second basemen in the league, while also being one of the best contact hitters in the league. The Yankees used him primarily in front of Aaron Judge, something that showed to work out very well. Despite the fact that Lameu couldn't run the bases very well, it's not hard to jog around the bases when Aaron Judge is smoking the ball 475 feet out into left center field. So it did make DJ LeMahieu's base running issues not that much of a concern. Also, it's not like he was the world's worst base runner, but for a contact hitter, an excellent fielder, the base running was objectively bad. For an average for an average MLB player, it was a little bit below average, if we're being fair. But Lameu, he was a excellent fielder and an excellent second baseman for the Yankees for a very long time. Now, he did eventually move to third base as time went on. Lameu showed he could play anywhere in the field on a dime that wasn't shortstop, because he just wasn't athletic enough to cover all the ground that a shortstop has to cover. But outside of that, DJ did everything the Yankees asked for him. He was their leadoff hitter for a very long period of time, for multiple years, and the Yankees saw a lot of success in that time. They made some playoff appearances. Obviously, they never won anything. And Lameu ended up getting a massive 6-year contract that the Yankees are still going to have to pay him. Now, there was a lot of questions when the Yankees gave him that deal, because obviously it was a good deal at the time. But after 2021, he did take a little bit of a step back, which did have fans a little bit concerned about that contract, but they were trying to win. Lameu was still solid. It made sense. It felt like something that was not going to age well, and it didn't. The Yankees will now be paying both DJ Lameu and Aaron Hicks a ton of money over the next few years, despite the fact that they will not be suiting up for the Yankees ever again. Lameu's career is definitely on life support right now, as despite being a former great player who was in MVP conversations just 5 years ago, things have changed, and they changed fast. Now, Lameu, I'll definitely miss him, because he was a staple of this Yankee team from when I was in high school. He's one of the last guys who was on the Yankees both when I was in high school and through all of college, and still here. So it does make me feel a little bit sad and older now that that's happening. But Lameu was not having a great year. Look, he batted .266, but it wasn't good enough from what he usually was. He was okay at best, but the fielding became limited. He no longer had the ability. And though I think he can find a platoon or bench spot somewhere in the MLB on a contending team, and I actually imagine that he will, it does feel like Lameu's time in the MLB and as a professional athlete is coming to an end. He had a .674 OPS and OPS plus a 91. Both of those below average, a slugging percentage at .336 and an on-base percentage at .338. Lameu, this was a long time coming for him. Now, over the last 3 seasons since 2023, Lameu's had a .237 batting average with 196 hits, 19 home runs, 82 RBIs, and 87 runs scored in the 248 games that he played. He just was not the same guy that he used to be, and that eventually did end up being the end of his career. Like most guys, he got old and things changed, and he got older a little bit faster than most people do, but he was never a super athlete. And when your main ability is fielding and contact hitting, you start to lose that contact bat while you're also slowing down in the field. This tends to be what happens. Now, his 2023 was not awful by any means. He did put up solid numbers. The .243 average was definitely underwhelming, but the slugging percentage, the OPS were still solid. The following year was not passable at all, and then this season he was not doing well enough as well to hold on to his Yankee spot. Funny, not funny, because it's not funny to see DJ LeMahieu lose his job with the Yankees after all these years, but interestingly enough, the Yankees actually did try to DFA LeMahieu last year, but the players stepped in and stopped it, saying that LeMahieu was too big of an influence on that bench and too good of a vocal leader. However, though that did buy DJ around almost exactly another year, it didn't do much more than that. The Yankees will now use that roster spot on someone else while paying LeMahieu to not be on the team. It could lead to LeMahieu deciding, you know what, I've done all I could do in the MLB. I didn't get a World Series to my name, but I did have some success. I got to play with some great teams. It's been great. I'm getting paid for the next 2 years. It's time I call it a career. That's a very real possibility that we see out of LeMahieu. However, it's also possible that we don't see that. And LeMahieu does work to try to get another MLB team, considering he probably feels like I'm not in my 40s yet. As they said in Moneyball, everyone gets told one day they can no longer play the kids game. Some people it's at 18, some people it's at 40. With LeMahieu, it happens to be those mid-30s, but he's not the first nor the last middle infielder that's going to retire in his mid-30s because he just lost that step, man. He did. He couldn't really do much about it anymore, and Brian Hoke did highlight this from what Aaron Boone said, as according to Hoke, Aaron Boone said DJ LeMahieu was willing to begin working at third base again, but the position had been too physically demanding for him. There were lengthy discussions yesterday and today between LeMahieu, Boone, and Brian Cashman. LeMahieu didn't ask for his release and is not happy with the outcome. Now, like most people who get DFA'd off the New York Yankees when you were there for a while and wanted to see this thing through, obviously LeMahieu's not thrilled about this because, again, as I said, his career is going to be on life support now. Things are going to be different in LeMahieu. He's going to have to fight like hell to try to get some roster spot in the MLB. And he's going to have to show teams a reason why. Third base is too demanding for him, and the second base, he doesn't have the athleticism to play second base anymore, and the fielding ability. It feels like the arm is going as well. He can't run the bases. The contact hitting is not the same, and you can't be a contact hitter and bat 266, man. It's I think it's pretty clear the writing's on the wall here that LeMahieu maybe can find a team for this season, for the rest of it, and maybe next year. But it's clear that this is the end of DJ LeMahieu's time in the MLB, unfortunately. Now, I like LeMahieu. No part of me is excited about this, but it is interesting to see the Yankees actually do this. It felt like something that would never happen. LeMahieu was phenomenal in 2020. It was his best season with the Yankees. He came in third in MVP voting. He had a batting average of .364 with 71 hits, 10 home runs, 27 RBIs, and 41 runs scored in 50 games in 2020. He won his second Silver Slugger award and was the best player on the Yankees in 2019. He was the best player on the Yankees as well. I'm aware Aaron Judge was there. Judge was dealing with injuries. I believe in 2020 he dealt with some injuries. I know Stanton barely played that year, but we didn't see Aaron Judge take that leap. Remember, he was great at the start, kind of took a little step back, dealt with some injury stuff, and then halfway through 2021, Judge just woke up, and it's never been the same with Aaron Judge in the best way possible. But LeMahieu had a 1.011 OPS, a slugging percentage of .590, an OPS of .421, an average of .364. The man was downright phenomenal in 2020. I remember watching him play. I remember this so clearly. For some reason, I was at this bar that's right across the street from my apartment. I almost said the name, and that'd be doxing myself, which I don't need to do. But I was at this bar with two of my best friends. We were watching the Yankee game. Watching's a strong word. We were drinking outdoors, and the Yankee game was on. And I remember LeMahieu being up, and I said to my friends in passing, both of whom are Red Sox fans, also both of whom are from Manhattan, so go figure. Well, one of them's now a Mets fan, I guess, but at the time he was a Red Sox fan. Regardless, ew. But I said, there's the best player of the Yankees. They're like, what are you talking about? It's Aaron Judge. I was like, not right now. Right now it's DJ LeMahieu. And LeMahieu was great. I mean, there's a reason why I came in third in the MVP voting. I'm going to miss DJ. I really am. It sucks that this is how it goes down. However, the show's going to go on, and right now we're going to see Oswald Peraza be the primary third baseman as Jazz Chisholm is back at second. Peraza bats with a 157 batting average, which obviously is awful, but the hope is that if he plays consistent minutes, he could get things going. He's got a 487 OPS, 37 OPS plus, 261 slugging, and 226 on-base percentage. The numbers across the board are awful, but he is a phenomenal fielder. He's got a crazy arm. He's really athletic. He can run the bases well, so Peraza does have that going for him. He also has 14 RBIs and 21 hits, so the hits are mattering. They count for something. That's something to think about. The Yankees also brought in Heimer Candelario, who's batting with a atrocious 113 batting average thus far. However, again, he dealt with injuries. I've said this before. The negative .9 WAR, he could easily turn around. Just 2 years ago, he was batting a 750 OPS. So I do think Candelario's got a world where he could snap back into it, being just 31 years old. But he does need to get that hitting together. I do imagine the Yankees will call him up to be a switch hitting third baseman for them on days where they don't want to play Oswald Peraza specifically. I think Candelario would get games more against righties than anything else, and Peraza would play against lefties if they decide to go with that. However, that's obviously something that remains to be seen. On top of that, we know trade talks are going to loom large for the Yankees, and no one bigger than Eugenio Suarez. He's the third baseman that's primarily on the market. Now, Suarez has said he wants to stay in Arizona, which is going to have an impact on everything. But thus far, he's got a 252 batting average, OPS of 876, slugging percentage of 558, OPS plus of 139. If you can get Eugenio Suarez, I mean, that's phenomenal. But I don't want to say bank on it or something like that, because he's going to cost an arm and a leg and probably the other arm too, and the Diamondbacks are going to value him high considering he wants to stick around. I also just think a team like the Mariners is going to get ready to outbid the Yankees, but the Yankees will trade for a third baseman. They're also going to trade for starting pitching most likely, and probably a bullpen guy. This trade deadline's about to get real crazy, and this is just the beginning move the Yankees are making to show that they got open roster spots. We're going to see what happens, but very clearly a trade for a third baseman is going to come. They're not going to sit like this when they know they're on a limited timeline with this core. But guys, what do you think about the DJ move? Hey man, shout out to DJ Lameu for everything he did for the Yankees. It will not be forgotten by us Yankee fans. We appreciate everything, DJ. Thank you so much for a lot of great years in the pinstripes. We'll always appreciate it. We'll always appreciate you. Not a Yankees legend, but DJ LeMahieu, very much a longtime Yankee who will always love and respect. Guys, like this video, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Have a great day. Thank you, DJ LeMahieu, for everything. Go Yankees.